Whether you drink gin every night in a martini or mix it with tonic water, you may be wondering what this alcohol does to your body. Are there benefits? Or only downsides? When you drink gin on a nightly basis, this is what happens to your body. Could a gin and tonic really get rid of your indigestion? Some people have claimed that juniper berries, a key ingredient in gin, has helped abate symptoms related to the condition, including bloating, nausea, and heartburn. Despite this oft-repeated bit of wisdom, though, there's no solid medical proof to back up people's claims, at least not in humans. A 2007 study conducted by researchers in Canada did find that juniper berry essential oil helped improve digestion in cows. But it's also important to note that while some people find heartburn relief from gin, others may experience worsening symptoms. Kevin Gassemi, a gastroenterologist at the University of California in Los Angeles, told NPR that alcohol in general has a temporary but direct effect on heartburn. This is because alcohol can relax the muscles that connect the stomach and esophagus. He explained that those muscles are supposed to close the opening between the two, except to allow food to pass through. And if they're relaxed because of the effects of alcohol, it may allow stomach acid to seep into the esophagus. That's acid reflux, and that's why a nightly gin and tonic just might make it worse. Researchers in Australia studied the relation between juniper berries and bacteria and found that these powerful berries were able to interfere with the development of bacterial triggers of 3 major health conditions: multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, and ankylosing spondylitis. Juniper berries also showed promising signs of being able to treat certain types of cancer, according to the study. A 2014 review conducted by researchers in India further revealed that the juniper plant has also been credited with antimicrobial, antifungal, and antioxidant activity, which bodes well for its bacteria and cancer-fighting potential. While gin is the only alcohol that contains a high concentration of this superfood, it is still alcohol, a known carcinogen. Still, moderate consumption is generally considered safe. Teresa Hydes, a researcher at UK's University Hospital Southampton, told Discover that a person's risk of developing most cancers didn't increase until a person started drinking heavily. So while you shouldn't look to gin as a miracle cure, choosing to drink gin in moderation every night is likely safe. If losing weight is your goal, choosing to drink gin every night isn't likely to sabotage your efforts. In fact, it may just help. Amy Gorin, registered dietitian, nutritionist, and owner of Amy Gorin Nutrition in New York, told Women's Health, "I typically tell clients to choose their indulgence. If you're trying to lose weight, you may not want to go for the dessert and the alcohol every day, but you definitely can make room in your diet for one or the other." When it comes to gin, there's something else going on here. It's not so much about the alcohol, but what you're mixing with it. For the most part, gin and tequila are equal. A martini and a margarita, however, are not. A gin martini is one of the best low-calorie alcoholic beverages you can have, as it contains 0 sugar and 0 carbs, and is just a smidge above 100 calories. Once you start getting into alcohol mixed with sodas and other high-sugar beverages, that starts going up. There is one exception, though: slow gin. This particular kind of gin is more accurately described as a liqueur, and as such, it's lower in alcohol but higher in sugar. Opt for this gin and you might cancel out all those diet-related benefits.
How much sugar did you use?
Sugar?
It's common to mix alcohol with seltzer water, club soda, and tonic water, but they're all very different things. According to Healthline, tonic contains quinine, which is a compound taken from cinchona bark. This is what gives the stuff a bitter taste. It's safe to consume the compound, but only in small doses. In fact, due to side effects that can result from quinine, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration regulates just how much can be added to tonic water. One gin and tonic isn't likely to lead to any adverse reactions, but it is possible in some individuals. Healthline also explained that stomach cramps, nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting can occur, and some people may even experience nervousness, confusion, or a ringing sensation in their ears. More severe reactions, including kidney damage from quinine, have also been noted when the compound is used in medication. But it's even more unlikely you'll experience anything so severe from your nightly G&T. You'd have to drink around 2 liters of tonic water to get a major dose of quinine, but still, if you're sensitive to it, you might want to opt for a different mixer. Certain types of alcohol have earned certain types of reputations. Tequila makes you go wild, beer gives you a belly, and gin makes you cry. In the case of gin, this old wives' tale may actually be true. A 2017 study conducted by researchers from Public Health Wales and King's College London in the United Kingdom surveyed about 30,000 men and women between the ages of 18 and 24 to determine how different types of alcohol affected their emotions and behavior. And yes, the legal drinking age in the UK is 18. Those who drank spirits, including gin, rum, and whiskey, were more likely to experience negative emotions, including feelings of aggression, while only 2.5% of the participants experienced that particular mood after drinking red wine. Of course, there could have been a few factors at play. While gin tears seem to be a very real thing, the study also clarified emotions experienced could also be related to when the alcohol is drunk, the levels of alcohol within each beverage type, and the different compounds found in different drinks.
You're a bad drunk.
If you've ever heard anyone make reference to gin curing or preventing malaria, there is some basis to the claim, sort of. While there's nothing in gin that can prevent the disease, the quinine in tonic water was first used to fight malaria, and with great success, especially among the workers who built the Panama Canal in the early 20th century. Technically, modern-day tonic water may have some preventative abilities, but you'd need to drink a lot of G&Ts. Deb Mills, medical director of The Travel Doctor, did the math and came up with a figure of 67 liters of tonic water per day. And that is exactly why you shouldn't try this at home. Some 50 million Americans suffer from allergies, according to the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America. A pollen allergy, also called seasonal allergies or hay fever, is among the most common. And as any pollen allergy sufferers will attest, allergies are the worst. To make matters worse still, those who have allergy-induced asthma may find that alcohol only worsens their symptoms. According to a study by Asthma UK, 64% of asthmatics surveyed claimed that drinking alcohol worsened their condition. However, there's more to the story. It's not that all alcohol worsens asthma or allergies. Instead, it's certain kinds. Fermented beverages like beer and red wine contain histamine and sulfites, which are essentially kryptonite to people with seasonal allergies. According to Asthma UK's study, gin contains both a lower amount of histamine and, thanks to how it's distilled, zero sulfites. These are two things that make gin a superior summertime or, anytime beverage for allergy sufferers. In your grandparents' kitchen, you may have noticed raisins soaking in a jar on the counter. Maybe you chalked it up to your Nana's eccentricities, but there is actually some science behind this antiquated home remedy. As medicine researcher and author Chris Kilham explained in a piece for Fox News, the remedy, which calls for a box of golden raisins, a glass jar, and gin, is meant to alleviate arthritis pain. The raisins are to be covered and soaked in the gin at room temperature for 1 week, after which they should be consumed, 10 per day. As Kilham explained, golden raisins are capable of anti-inflammatory activity, and since arthritis is an inflammatory disease, the raisins could help. Gin is made with similarly anti-inflammatory and antioxidant-rich juniper berries, which is why it's the preferred booze to use. Kilham added this bit of wisdom. When you soak the golden raisins in the juniper berry gin, the gin extracts many of the compounds in the raisins, making them more readily absorbed when you consume the raisins. The Fountain of Youth is full of gin. Well, sort of. Cleverly named brand Anti-Agin promised consumers a younger appearance upon drinking their gin. According to a statement by the UK brand, Anti-Agin is distilled with collagen and other, quote, anti-aging botanicals in order to, quote, help people look younger whilst having fun. Anti-Agin continued, the ingredients were specifically chosen due to their revitalizing qualities, including healing sun damage, being rich in minerals, inhibiting scar formation, and to help smooth cellulite. The gin also contains aromas of chamomile and tea tree with a spicy hit of nettle, witch hazel, and gotu kola, complementing a classic base of juniper, coriander, and angelica root. While this brand does add some look-good, feel-good ingredients to its gin, all gin contains juniper berries, and juniper berries have been scientifically proven to have the potential for delivering some anti-aging benefits. So deciding to drink gin every night could keep you looking youthful, though it's probably best to not base your whole skincare regimen on this. Drinking alcohol can often lead to bloating because it's an inflammatory substance. That's why you may notice your face becoming a little puffy or your stomach bloating after a couple drinks. Although gin is still a type of alcohol, the juniper plant from which it is made has long been in use as a diuretic. In fact, people as far back as the medieval times have recognized its power to reduce water retention. And that sounds like a decent reason to drink gin every night as opposed to other alcoholic beverages. Of course, there may be a difference in how well juniper works as a diuretic in gin form versus whole food form. No such studies have been conducted to determine if gin is a better type of alcohol to consume than others when it comes to bloating. Nevertheless, gin does naturally contain more juniper than other alcoholic beverages. Nutritionist Jackie Lynch had some good news regarding a nightly gin drink and your heart health. She says, as with other types of alcohol, there is some evidence to suggest that moderate consumption of gin can help reduce the risk of heart attacks. This relates to 1 small glass per day, as studies have shown that as you increase your intake to 3 glasses per day, the risk of cardiovascular disease increases dramatically. Although a nightly gin martini can improve your heart health, other gin drinks may not due to the added sugar in some mixers. Because an excess consumption of sugar has been linked to heart disease, you're going to want to avoid adding any sweet mixers to your measure of gin and opt for something a little less sugary. How would you like to never have a hangover ever again? Never have that all-over achy feeling, that pounding headache?
What's the matter?
I have a headache.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
That may not be entirely possible, unless you avoid alcohol, of course, but you can lessen your chances. However, you will have to trade in certain drinks. Studies have found an association between substances called congeners and hangovers. As it happens, dark drinks like brandy and whiskey are high in congeners, whereas clear drinks, such as vodka and gin, have much lower levels. Daniel Hall-Flavin, a board-certified psychiatrist who specializes in addiction, explained to the Mayo Clinic, while lighter-colored drinks may slightly help to prevent a hangover, drinking too many alcoholic beverages of any color will still make you feel bad the morning after. Drinking large amounts of alcohol can cause dehydration, low blood sugar, digestive irritation, and disturbed sleep, all factors that lead to hangover symptoms. So, if you drink gin every night, you'll still want to limit yourself. That's not entirely bad or surprising news. Moderation is key, no matter what you're drinking, after all. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite drinks are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.